everyone, I'm Alex and I'm the hands behind Lovecraft Crochet. My plushies are for the anxious, depressed, autistic, and neurodivergent. Small enough to travel in a purse, backpack, diaper bag, or even your pocket. You can check out my Facebook page or TikTok to see what patterns are available and stay tuned for the new ones coming out. I also make hats, scarves, blankets, and dice bags for the tabletop gamer or dice goblin in your life. Feel free to order through the page, TikTok DMs, or via email at love.craft.crochet@gmail.com. Now, on to the segment.
Due to the graphic and disturbing nature of the crimes discussed, listener discretion is advised.
Killing 15.
Thanks. Oh, I don't have to say thanks, Sam, anymore.
No.
Sorry, I forgot how we do this since I haven't had to read anything for any of the series of 15-minute shows in a month.
This is true.
Speaking of, go listen over at Mything 15 Minutes. Now, I'm going to read this first paragraph that Sam has in the last thing we're going to do in a notebook before we switch to digital. I do not like this, but I shall read it. Just this first paragraph. You'll understand why I don't want to read this when I finish it. AJ, knows this case. He may not, don't fail me, Bick. Sorry, may not know I know this case. I have even mentioned in another episode, while guessing a case. Now to give me something to read.
I was manic.
Look, the point is that if I was not reading this in your own damn handwriting, in a notebook, on hard copy, I would swear you tried AIing this shit.
You keep telling me that. I don't know how to AI things.
I know. That's
really
why I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to spoil everyone. For our last 150 episodes, Sam doesn't actually exist.
You caught me. I've been using ChatGPT for the last 3 years.
No, I was saying you as a person are a AI assistant.
I can believe that.
You're like a stoned co-pilot.
I would love to be stoned again.
So anyways, poor kid had a rough childhood. Born on October 14th, 1953, in Canova, West Virginia, Mountain Mama Take Me Home, Country Road. Jesus Christ. Bobby Joe Long was born with an extra X chromosome, a specific variant of Klinefelter syndrome. He would grow breasts as a woman. He would be teased and had a breast reduction surgery as a child. He would have multiple documented head injuries. From the breast or just in general?
In general.
The dysfunctional relationship between mother and son. He would sleep in his mother's bed until he was a teenager. He would resent her one or few night stands that she brought home after her late shifts. Long would marry his high school girlfriend in 1974. 2 kids later, they divorced in 1980. She filed. As in, she's the one who filed the divorce.
Yes.
Long would pop up again in Tampa Bay in 1983. Some point in between then and 1984, he was on probation for assault. In March of 1984, Long abducted Artise Ann Wick. He would strangle her. Her body was found on November 22nd, 1984 in a rural area. Wick was hitchhiking from Gas City, Indiana to Tampa. Long also attacked 33-year-old Linda Nuttall in her home. In the early of morning of November 3rd, 1984, Lisa McVeigh, 17 years old, was riding her bike home from work when Long abducted her. Blindfolding her, Long took her to his house, where he raped her repeatedly. Knowing the danger she was in, the blindfolded Lisa left as many fingerprints in as many places as she could, hoping she was aiding future investigation. After 26 hours, Long took Lisa from his house back into his car, passenger seat keeping her blindfolded. That's a hell of a sentence. It's almost like you're trying to write in beat poetry,
Yeah.
and it's just not like flowing because you have no rhythm.
I don't got rhythm.
He went to his ATM before releasing the young woman. The brave teen gave as much details as she could about Long, his house, and his car. About how long it was from the ATM until he dropped her off. This allowed police to narrow down banks with walk-up ATMs and get the suspect's photos. They had him. Bobby Joe Long checked every box the officers were looking for. Long was arrested on November 16th, 1984. He was linked to multiple murders because, if I haven't recalled this case yet, it was red car carpet fibers. When arrested, Long was wanted in 3 Tampa Bay jurisdictions, each heading collected clothing, carpet fibers, semen, ligature marks, and rope knots. Arrested originally for the sexual battery and kidnapping of Lisa McVeigh, Long signed a formal Miranda waiver and consented to questioning. He confessed to raping and kidnapping Lisa McVeigh rather quickly. Investigators changed their questioning to the series of unsolved sexual battery homicides in the Tampa Bay area. Long's response to the murder questions was, "I'd rather not answer that." The police pushed on starting with photos of his victims. At this point, Long said, "The complexion of things sure have changed since you came back into the room. I think I may need an attorney." Can you guess what he did next? Well, Long would confess to 8 murders in Hillsborough County and 1 murder in Pasco County. I'm assuming Hillsborough is Tampa Bay County?
It's one of those. It's one of those counties right there in that area.
I always assumed that it would be Tampa Bay would have its own county. Like it'd be Tampa Bay County. I think that's because I think it's because I also know Miami-Dade being its own county.
Right, but Miami-Dade is huge.
It is. But that's where I sort of think my brain went, it's stupid to think that. I admit that. But
No, I understand what you're saying.
fiber evidence analysis by the FBI linked Long's car to most of his victims. The Hillsborough County State Attorney's Office and the Public Defender's Office of Hillsborough County reached a plea deal. Long pled guilty on September 24th, 1985 to 8 murders, the abduction and rape of Lisa McVeigh, receiving 26 life sentences without parole. That's a hell of a plea deal. It broke down to 24 concurrent and 2 to run consecutively to the first 24. Also received 7 life sentences with the possibility of parole after 25 years. Hey, I know we probably talked about this before, but if you've been charged multiple times, like he's got several cases that are without parole, but he has some with parole. So after 25 years, is he eligible for parole despite the other ones that say he can't? Okay.
No.
The state retained the option to seek the death penalty for the murder of Michelle Sims.
Sims, yes.
She wasn't brought up. Although Long confessed to the raping and murder of the woman, his confession was thrown out. His trial went straight to the sentencing phase. In July of '86, Long was sentenced to death for Michelle Sims. His victims were killed from March to November of 1984. They believed he killed 10 women. Wen Lana Long, Michelle Sims, Elizabeth Loudenbach, Chanel Williams, Karen DeStrand, Kimberly Hobbs, Virginia Johnson, Kim Swan, Vicky Elliott, and Artis Wick. Wick and Johnson's murder conviction was turned over on appeals. Really?
Yeah, they didn't really tell me why they were turned over on appeals, and I wasn't going to read in that long ass thing that they get, the
Fair
actual appeals letter. Yeah, no. Sorry.
No, that's okay. On April 23rd, 2019, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed Long's death warrant. This was the first for the newly elected governor. Long's final meal was roast beef, bacon, french fries, and a soda. Long was executed by the needle on May 23rd, 2019, with no written last words. That's the end of that notebook.
That's the end of that notebook.
Man, is that a full season?
No.
Oh, we're not counting that as a season?
We can't.
Why not?
It's not a full notebook.
Touché.
So,
like we pointed out at the beginning, outside of whatever fucking stream of consciousness you wrote, I have brought this up before.
Yep.
Because it's the one Forensic Files thing that I truly remember is just this weird fucking red carpet in a Lincoln or a Capri or...
Yeah, I think it was a Capri.
Or some big fucking...
Yeah.
To paraphrase or quote, Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, this was a big black guy fucking vehicle.
Yes.
It was a fucking boat.
It was a boat.
But I could never remember what it was. All I remember was,
Well, when you mentioned the red fibers, I knew exactly what episode I needed to do when I got to it. So while I was scrolling through looking at Forensic File episodes, I'm like, where's the red fiber case? So I went from season 1 to season 2. Guess what the first episode of season 2 is?
First episode of season 2 is the red fibers?
Yep.
Spoilers, Sam is also taking a lot of her inspirations from Forensic Files for the foreseeable future.
Seems interesting. I'm trying also not to have it where we're super long, so it kind of becomes an issue when I'm trying to, throw in as many facts as possible.
No, that's fair.
Without having it where you're bogged down with facts and we're, doing a 30-minute episode.
Well, that's sort of where I tried to keep us light for the AJ files that we're just coming off of. And it felt nice reading again instead of writing. I take it for granted. I take you for granted, Sam. However, the first paragraph coming back on being whatever the fuck you wrote.
I have to say, I wrote that a while ago, too. I started writing this a while ago.
Yes, this took Sam a month and a half to write.
I just could not find the muse.
Well, not true. The muse, but you also were working full time.
And this is true. But, hey.
But yes, thank you for finding the one episode of Forensic Files I legitimately remember and do reference a lot, because there was the blue fiber one we covered a few episodes back, or a while ago.
It was a while ago, but yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Because that's the one where I'm like, oh, is this? And then I was just thinking my memory was, I Mandela'd it into being red instead of blue. You know what I mean? I saw 2 back-to-back episodes or something like that.
Yeah.
Though the Mandela effect is something we definitely need to cover on Mything.
We do, because have you seen the Richard Simmons one?
No?
Yeah, Richard Simmons, the exercise dude.
Yeah?
Supposedly he never wore a headband.
No, that's not true. That can't be
Supposedly
true.
he never wore a headband. Google. I actually watched this on TikTok, and then I did it myself. Google Richard Simmons costumes, and you will see a bunch of people with the headbands. When you go to purchase it, now there is no headband.
So what is that? That is just a change in costuming.
Now every picture of Russell Simmons on the internet.
Richard Simmons.
Russell Simmons is the Run DMC dude. Anyways, so...
And Gene Simmons is Kiss.
Yes. So, Richard's,
And Al Simmons is Spawn.
So, she's like, okay. So she starts looking at pictures of Richard Simmons, and None of them. She's like, they're all the same. She goes, it has to be the same video because it doesn't change. His outfit's not changing.
Well, and that could very well be. But that is a separate topic for a separate day.
Sorry, I will erase this from the...
No, keep it on here. And if you want to see the the Mandela Effect episode where we talk about this in a much better detail, well, then you should also be following Mything 15 Minutes. AJ writes it and Sammy reads it.
Murder and crime, keep it under the time. Oh, wrong one.
No, the other way. I'm the one who always does that.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you for that. Also, man, I really wish Ron DeSantis stayed an interesting governor. Or he's interesting. But
Yeah,
Jesus
but
Christ, 6 years later, it's...
I believe he's perpetuated the Florida man.
Oh, he has. So has our current administration, but we're not getting into politics.
Nope, we just got over 4 weeks of politics.
How? I didn't cover anything that was topical, did I?
I just listened to the Lager Beer Riot.
The last 10 minutes of that is us talking about current events, though.
Yes, it is.
Not the lager beer. That was the paper money one.
I just finished Lager Beer because it's this week's episode. It just dropped.
Okay, well, either way, we're not going into depth. I'm just saying it's always weird when we see Ron DeSantis do something in any of our stuff.
That is true. Usually he's signing a death warrant, though.
Yeah, but, you know, it is what it is. Do you have anything to say on this?
No. Oh, Lisa McVeigh went on to become a police officer.
Really?
Yes.
Neat.
Sorry, that just clicked out.
No, that's okay. Like I said, neat.
Yeah, so she's also an advocate for teen violence and all that shit.
Okay. Well, that's good.
So she's still making the best out of the situation she was in, but she kept a cool head. She, you know...
Yeah, no, she actually...
As she put it in the FBI files, I was doing everything in my power to prove I was here.
Well, and that's kind of exactly... As bad as it sounds, it's kind of what you need to do. Is... Because especially with how lawyers are now.
Yes.
Or hell, even especially with how the media is now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the, well, why, you know, well, all there is a stray fingerprint that could have been from anyone. And then you get the case thrown out, or you never, you know, it really is a stupid system.
I agree, and it's getting stupider. But
It
that's
is.
neither here or there. Dealing with our legal system is its own little...
Anyways, with that, I'm AJ Carey.
I'm Sam Rossi. Later, y'all.